Hello and welcome back to the Birdcage. I am filming this on November 7th, Thursday, November 7th, and the Creighton Blue Jays played basketball last night. I'm going to be here to recap the Creighton versus UTRGV game that happened yesterday, as well as kind of previewing. I'll have an entire different video on it, but kind of previewing Sunday's matchup against FDU. Creighton did play basketball yesterday. It was an exciting time. I'm sure everyone was excited. They won. They did not win convincingly. It took 49 points for Ryan Kalkbrenner to get it done. Ryan Kalkbrenner dominated from start to finish. 49 points, most points scored in that arena. Second most points, I think, in Creighton history. Almost got to 50. McDermott made a joke in the presser. If he made his free throws, he would have gotten there. Um, But yeah, overall, it wasn't a really good game for Creighton. Um, I'm glad that Kalkbrenner's 49 is kind of overshadowing the fact our defense struggled. Um, because realistically, if Kalkbrenner didn't put up 49 points, I don't know if we would have got it done. The hard part about yesterday's game was it was one team's first game, the other team's second game. UTRGV got to play Nebraska as almost a tune-up game on Monday. Um, and it kind of looked like they've played basketball before we have. UTRGV kind of not dominated, but they forced 15 turnovers. Creighton turned the ball over 15 times. 12 of those were steals. I mean, you're just looking at the stats right now: 19 points off turnovers, 19 second chance points. It was they never really the game never scared me. As a Creighton fan, I never thought we were going to lose the game, even though it was an 8 point game, 10 point game at times, like sometimes even 5 point game towards the end. The game never scared me because I never thought we were going to lose the game. But still, it's one of those things where you're seeing it and you're just like, yeah, they shot really good. Shot 47% from three in the first half, making eight of them. In the second half, they cooled off a little bit. They only made six. But still, we're giving up 14 3 pointers a game. You make 14 threes in a game, you will be able to hang in most games. I think that shows how good this Creighton offense is, where 14 or UTRGV made 14 threes and Creighton was still able to win by 13. That just showed how potent this offense can be. But also, it's one of those things that it's just like you really were hoping this would be a 40, 50 point win for Creighton where they just come out and dominate from start to finish. Now, you can accredit that to Pop Isaacs Jr., Pop Isaacs being out. He was not able to suit up for Creighton's first regular season game with an injury. McDermott is hopeful that he will be back on Sunday, but right now we just really don't know. Like I touched on, Ryan Kalkbrenner, 49 points and 11 rebounds. That's absurd. That is absurd. Stephen Ashworth had the quietest 25 points I think I've ever seen. He shot very poorly from the field, uh, 3 of 10, and then 2 of 7 or he made 2 3 pointers to go along with that. He didn't shoot very good today. However, he made 17 free throws. He was 17 for 17 from three or from the line. So that's what we're looking for. He also had 7 assists and 7 rebounds. So you can be nitpicky about how poorly he shot from the field. But if Stephen Ashworth's going to go and get 7 boards, 7 assists, 25 points, and make 17 free throws, hey, that's good. You tip your cap to that. That's good. I don't like how 17 of his 25 points came from the line, but I guess it's however you have to get it done, you get it done. Other players that impressed me yesterday, Isaac Trout. He played really good. Shot 3 of 6 from behind the line or behind the arc. Um, he really didn't do a whole bunch. Pretty much was put into the game to make some threes. He had a nice little dunk off of Stephen Ashworth assist, but he did what he was supposed to do. And I really think Isaac Trout will have an extensive role this year just because of how just because we've heard a lot of talk about Isaac Trout this summer putting in work, losing weight so he can be quicker, faster, stronger. And if he can make 3 pointers, he'll have a role in the team. It really will just kind of come down to defense and if he's able to guard somebody on the defensive end. Mason Miller went 0 for 3 from deep. He was not looking too hot. He had 7 rebounds though, so he was able to contribute on the offensive glass. Jason Green struggled. Jason Green struggled again. Um, he kind of struggled in the Purdue game a little bit, but we're giving him graces that it was an exhibition. This was against weaker competition, and he struggled. He went 1 for 1 from the field, fine, but he really did not contribute on the offensive end at all. He had 3 rebounds, he had 4 turnovers. Um, it just was not a whole lot of positivity coming from his minutes today. Um, McDermott credited that to him playing a different position, him and Miller all playing kind of a different position. And I get that. It makes sense. But that's something that we're gonna hopefully see kind of change here in the coming games. I would love to see Jason Green become a little more active on the offensive end, just because I feel like you need a threat. You need a threat. At least Isaac Trout's gonna shoot the ball. Miller will shoot the ball. We need Green to feel comfortable taking shots on offense and making some moves inside too. Jemiah Neal's first game in his Creighton jersey, it was a good game. It was a good game. He turned the ball over 4 times, which is like, you don't love to see it. He had 6 assists. He only had 6 points. He missed 2 shots from the outside that I thought looked pretty good. I didn't think any of them were like poor shots. But he showed that he's athletic and he can play at this Big East level. And we obviously know that, excuse me, we obviously know that Pop Isaacs can as well. So we have a lot of talent between those guys. The freshman that played, Ty Davis played the most minutes because we needed a secondary ball handler out there with Pop Isaacs out, and he played pretty good. He had his first Creighton basket, 5 rebounds. He played good. I was really comfortable having him on the floor. At times, he kind of looked like a freshman, especially on the defensive end of the floor, but it was never that bad. He had 3 fouls, which you don't love to see in 17 minutes, but it wasn't like scary, scary, scary stuff. And then Jackson McAndrews didn't score. He only played 8 minutes, 0 for 2 from deep. He didn't take a shot inside the arc, but I did like having those guys on the floor. It was kind of fun. It's exciting to see the next, like kind of like the next guys up. Um, and they're going to be great players in Omaha. But overall, Creighton just turned the ball over too much. They didn't look fluid on offense at times. At times it was perfect, but there were times where their shot clock would be kind of running down low and you'd have to kind of put up a prayer. Uh, Creighton didn't really shoot the ball well from three, only made 7. Um, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but if Kalkbrenner won't be able to have 50 every night, we're gonna have to be able to stretch the floor a little bit. Um, the other team making the other team making 7 more 3-pointers than us is a little scary, especially since Creighton's known as a 3-point shooting team. But I think overall, you can't be too nitpicky about this game because it's game one. If this was Creighton's best game on November 6th, then I don't think Creighton would have been very good come March. I think we're going to see a lot of improvement and hopefully the improvements on the defensive end of the ball. We need to get Pop Isaacs healthy because I think he adds so much to this offense. But Kalkbrenner almost had a 50 bomb. So I think Kalkbrenner has a legitimate chance to win National Player of the Year. And if you have Ryan Kalkbrenner on your team, you'll be able to win games. They scored UTRGV, excuse me, scored 32 points in the paint. 32 points in the paint. If we can figure out our defense a little bit, just make them take tougher shots. I feel like a lot of their 3-pointers, especially in the first half, are uncontested. So we can force opponents to take tougher shots. Then Creighton will be dominant once again. Overall, I can't be too nitpicky about this game. It was game 1 of the season. I wish we got a little more contribution from Green and Miller, but I'm sure that's going to come around. The Blue Jays will take on FDU on Sunday. I will have a preview and a recap for that game as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Blue Jays are able to put together a dominant performance on the offensive and defensive ends. As for me, that's all I have. I will see you guys later.